Congratulations through getting through session. You guys are, it was a pretty big session. And maybe that's where I thought I would start, see how things went. I know you had a pretty Herculean task, is that the right word? On the budget in particular, right? A $1.2 billion budget shortfall you guys had to figure out how to close. So just would love your perspective on how that went and, what you were happy kind of maybe that came out of those conversations? Anything that you wished maybe would have gone differently?
Absolutely. Yes, it's good to be done with our 2025 legislative session. In Colorado, we go for 120 days. That's limited by our state constitution, so we have to get all of our work done in that time. And so when the clock strikes midnight on that 120th day, we have to have everything done. And we were able to get everything done that we necessarily needed to do. And you're right, the big overarching theme of our legislative session this year was the $1.2 billion shortfall that we had to balance in our state budget. When we started the session, we were $1.2 billion short for a variety of reasons that I can get into. But because we have to pass a balanced budget, that was priority number one for our joint budget committee that presents the initial budget to the legislature, and then the legislature as a whole working through the budget and passing something before our session ended. But we were able to get that done, and there were some difficult cuts that had to be made. But I think what I'm most happy with as we leave the session is that the cuts were able to be sort of evenly distributed, and no one department or no one priority
Mm.
saw a incredibly deep cut. And we were actually able to protect and even improve the situation for one of our biggest priorities, which is our K-12 education system, and making sure we're funding that adequately. And that side of the budget actually saw a net increase in funding over last year. But we are still very cognizant of everything that's going on nationally. And if Medicaid cuts happen at a national federal level, that's very likely we're going to have to make some deeper cuts into our state budget, even for this fiscal year. So um, it was kind of a tepid optimism as we left session as far as the budget goes, knowing that there's some pretty difficult conversations that may have to happen in the next few months.